Hey there. Have you ever opened your email and the first message says something like, the best way to market your course is with Facebook ads? And then 3 emails later, you get, Facebook ads are dead. So this is one of my biggest pet peeves about online marketing. And today I want to talk about what you should do with all this conflicting advice from experts and gurus.
Welcome to the Course Creators HQ podcast, helping you navigate the latest techniques for creating and marketing online courses. And now, here's your host, Julie Hood.
Guess what? I am so excited. It's time for a new session of the daily version of the 24-hour Course Creator program. And I really love this program because I get to work so closely with all the students who are in it. We really get to know each other over the 5 weeks during the coaching hours. When people get stuck, we get to talk about it. Plus, I'm really excited when they get their courses finished. So here's how it works. We spend an hour a day during the weekdays for 24 days. So you get the weekends off. Or if you wanted, you could just do 5 hours on a Saturday morning. However, it works into your schedule. And what happens is each hour you sit down at your computer and I tell you exactly what to do during that hour. So you're not having to waste a lot of time trying to figure out, what should I do next to get my course created? You sit down for an hour, you go do the assignment, and then by the end of the session on February 15th, you'll have your first course or your next one created. So now I want to tell you too, this is not a signature, everything you know kind of course. This is a course that I want you to get up and running quickly, and I want to get some revenue coming in the door. So it's perfect timing because we are starting a new session of the 24-hour Course Creator Daily program on January 11th of 2021. So just go to 24hourcoursecreator.com/daily and save your spot. Or if you know somebody who might be interested, if you could tell them about it, I'd appreciate it. I'd be thrilled to work with you and your friends, and let's get started. Let's get this going. Let's make 2021 a fantastic year for you. And it's going to be months before I do this again, so I'd really love to have you jump in now. All right, let's get started on this week's episode. I want to talk about a very real problem in the industry. And this is where you get conflicting advice from all the experts and the gurus. And it happens more frequently than you would think. I used to think that there was a best way to do things, and if I looked long enough and compared enough different ways, that I would find the best way. And I've learned through the years finally that there really isn't a best way. What happens is that each person has their own path and their own thing that works. And then what they will do is go to the next step, which is teaching you how to use their techniques. And because of that, their messages then will come across as sometimes this is the only way or the best way or the one way that you need to do things. And what's actually happening is that there are lots and lots of different paths to get to either creating your first course or marketing your course. And your job as a course creator is to figure out which path is the best one for you, which one is going to work for the way you work, for the way you think, the way you like to connect with people. And so what I want to talk about today is how you should handle all of this conflicting advice and what you should do about it. Because you see, I get a lot of email. I try very hard to keep up with the newest and best tools and techniques that are out there for you. And because of all that email, I get a lot of this conflicting advice either in my inbox, or oftentimes it also happens in Facebook groups when people ask questions. Okay, so what should you be doing about it, and how do you decide whose advice to follow? Which things should you do? So my first suggestion for you is to follow just one guru at a time. So when you decide, okay, I'm going to follow this specific expert. I want you to go through their program, do what they tell you, try it out, and get some baseline information about how it works. So you may decide part of the way through, this is just not for me. Maybe they recommend that you do all kinds of Facebook Lives and you really don't like to be on video. If you really despise it, that technique isn't going to work for you. So we have to try it out, and I also want you to try it all the way through their program. Unless you just really, really can't stand it, you want to do the whole thing so that you know for sure what their program is like and whether it's going to work for you. And just do that person's program all the way through, because then you get a baseline for how things work for you and what works and what doesn't. And then from there, you can go on to the next guru and compare. So you may find out, okay, Facebook Live's not the thing for me, but I really like posting on Pinterest. I love to hang out on Pinterest. So you do a Pinterest experts course, and that one really resonates and works for you. So I truly believe that the right technique will resonate with you and you'll be excited to use it. So that's why there aren't a lot of things where I say this is the best way or the only way to do things. I would say really the only thing that I absolutely require a lot of my students to do, and that's having a regular email newsletter, because I truly believe that one technique works for nearly everyone when it's done correctly. So follow one guru, go through their system, see how it works for you, and then move on to the next guru. Because what you don't want to happen is that you're out doing all kinds of Google research and you're getting all of these conflicting messages from them, and then you don't know what to do. You're left in this, well, who should I follow? Who's right? Just do one at a time. Okay, so number 2 is take a look at how much experience they have, because sometimes people will be sharing what they know, and if they haven't experienced a lot of different techniques or tools, they're going to tell you about what they use and what works the best for them, but not necessarily because they've compared a lot of different things. And this comes up most often, I will say, in Facebook groups. Say someone will ask, what email tool should I be using? And 100 different people will reply, and they all have different tools that they recommend. But you want to make sure you know, is that the only tool they've ever used? Because I've noticed that people tend to like what they're using, regardless of whether it's the best tool or not. They really like what they've already started using and what they use every day. So one of the things we try to do at Course Creators HQ is have a pulse on the different types of tools and know the advantages and disadvantages of the different ones. So I have multiple accounts on the different creation platforms because I want to see what they do, how they work, and be able to compare them for you and not just use one and say this is the one you should use. So try to find out, when you're taking advice, how much experience do they have? So if someone posts in a Facebook group and they'll say, I've tried ConvertKit, I've tried ActiveCampaign, I've tried Aweber, and this is the one I use, because that's much better advice than somebody who says, oh, I use MailChimp and it's fantastic and I love it. So hopefully that'll help you figuring out, what kind of experience do they have with different options. Okay, number 3. Just because everyone is promoting a guru or a program, that doesn't mean it's the very best program out there. And let me explain this a little bit more. There are some experts who are really, really good at getting affiliate partners who will promote them. And they have usually a very expensive program, and they offer a really expensive affiliate commission to everyone who promotes them. And that doesn't necessarily mean that the programs are outstanding. There was one specific guru who teaches how to do online courses, who her manager asked me to promote it, and I only promote things that I have some kind of experience with. So I said, can I get a hold of the program and look through it? I want to see what it's like and see if it's good for my followers and good for you. And I went through it, and it was missing a huge piece of the puzzle, which was how to do all the technology side. And there are much better programs who provide that information in them. So I didn't promote it. I didn't recommend this program. And so I just want you to know it's probably one of the darker sides of online promotion, is that people who can get a lot of affiliates to get a lot of commotion around their program, they usually have high-end pricey programs because they give really good commissions. It can be as much as 50% sometimes to their affiliates. And because of that, it doesn't necessarily mean it's the best program for you. The other thing that sometimes can be a problem with the huge gurus and experts is you don't get a lot of personal attention. So if that's something you really want, that may not be the tool or the program for you. You probably want to find a smaller person to help you because you'll get more one-on-one time and work with them. Okay, number 4 is to look for some matching experiences and styles with whoever you're following. So what I mean by this is, let's say you are the person who spends hours and hours and hours on Instagram, and you love Instagram, you love hanging out there. So you want to find an expert who's going to tell you how to use Instagram to sell your course. But if you're more like me and Instagram is irritating to you, then that is not necessarily the best place for me to be playing. That's not the playground I want to be in. Yes, I do a few things on Instagram, but it more often than not frustrates me. So I tend to move towards things that are more in line with what I like to do. For example, this podcast. I love talking to you. I love doing these episodes. And so this is a much better match for my personality and how I like to interact. Now, you may have to try some different things before you can make this work, because how do you know what you're going to like, what you will or won't be good at? And I had a friend of mine who started with podcasting last fall, and she just loves it. So that's a perfect fit for her. If you don't like talking to a microphone, podcasting is not for you. So try to find the gurus who match what you like to do, where you like to play, what's the technique that you really jump into and get excited about. So those are just a few things that I was hoping could help you, if you're getting conflicting advice, help you decide, should I follow this advice or not? Follow one guru at a time, do their complete program. Try to determine how much experience they have at different techniques and different tools with different options, so that you know that they're giving you an overall experience as opposed to just their experience. And just because everyone is promoting a specific program, that doesn't mean it's necessarily the best one out there. And then the 4th thing was to look for matching experiences and styles that fit with your personality and the way that you love to work. So I hope this was helpful for you and that you have a really fantastic week. I am thrilled because we are going to be starting the daily version of the 24-hour Course Creator next week on January 11th, 2021. So if you know anyone who might be interested in getting their first course created and they want to work with someone personally, because I work directly with my students in this program, please send them to 24hourcoursecreator.com/daily. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for reviewing. You guys are the best, and I appreciate you listening and sharing your day with me. Have a fantastic week, and I will catch you next time.